Welcome to HARE Motorsport Week in the Workshop. We are combining the December-January session with the February session, and it's the in-between season sessions, and major upgrades have been carried out on the Toyota Starlet as well as the workshop. We've installed a hoist, and that certainly makes things a lot easier. I can now get the engine out in 20 minutes, so yeah, pretty happy about that. That's incredible. But the Starlet itself, the major upgrade we're doing to the Starlet is we're increasing the capacity from 1.3 litres to 1.5 litres, down to the 5E FE engine from the 4E FE, and they're basically exactly the same. The head just bolts straight on, everything's the same, water pumps are the same, oil pumps the same, the front timing, everything's the same. So basically it's just got an extra 10 millimetres in deck height, so that should be an interesting improvement to the vehicle, and see how we go this year, and hopefully maybe compete with a few guys in the under 2 litres and the actual Class C cars rather than Class D. So Jason Bockman and Doug Greenslade, not sure if he's racing this year. He sort of indicated last year that he might not be racing this year, but Jordan certainly said he was going to be back in the mix this year, so it'll be interesting to see how we go. And looking forward to this year. Other upgrades we're doing is we're changing out the rear axle assembly to get rid of the drums and going to disc brakes. So we've been able to source a axle assembly from the same model. So obviously in the higher grade model, the rear discs were available. So we've bought that assembly, and it just bolts straight in, which is a pretty simple upgrade. Doesn't give us any performance enhancement. Back wheels are off the ground for half a lap anyway, but it just gives us the ability to source rear race brake pads, which is a lot cheaper than getting custom shoes bonded with race material. So that's a very expensive exercise. Other upgrades, we've got some hub upgrades happening. We've also got some front brakes. Not sure if we're going to have the front brakes ready for Winton. They've only just turned up today, so yeah, we'll see how we go. If I've got enough time, we'll get them upgraded. Otherwise, we've got a lot of work on. We've got to get the exhaust fitted, get the fluids in the car, get the car started, get things happening to make sure we've got some reliability, and got to get a wheel alignment, and we've also got to get the dyno session. We've got a dyno session booked for the 4th of March, so we're going to get the car retuned now with 1.5 and see how we go. So really looking forward to this year. So look, sit back, enjoy a week in the workshop, and I look forward to seeing everyone out at the track on the 7th and 8th of March at Winton Motor Raceway for IPRA Round 1. Catch you later. Okay, so here we are. We pull the race engine out of the car, and getting ready and prepared to get the 1.5 into the car. Strip the 1.3, take the head off the motor, and we sort of got a bit of a surprise, a bit of a gasp. So every single piston with the inlet exhaust valve reliefs in the piston showed signs of the valves hitting the piston. So quite remarkable. I can't believe it. When we put the 4E FE together, we trialled with a standard thin gasket, turned the motor over by hand, and we had interference. So I did have him play. I did purchase a multi-layered steel head gasket, MLS, which was thicker, was 1.9 mil. So basically a bit of a decompression plate in there. We fitted that up onto the car, put the plasticine into the pistons, turned it over by hand, pulled it apart, measured everything all up, and found that we had 1.5mm clearance to the inlet valves to the reliefs, and we had 3mm clearance to the top of the piston for the exhaust valves. So I was quite comfortable with that. Yeah, it's all good. Put it all back together with the 1.9mm MLS. Turned the engine over by hand, and everything was fine. Not a drama. Got the car ready. Had done a dyno session when we put the head on, and no issues. Everything was running fine. So it's quite remarkable that when we pulled the head off, that we could have that interference. I was astounded. And obviously with the 5E FE engine, the piston profile at the top is exactly the same, although the 5E FE pistons are flat tops. They're not domed, but the actual inlet or inlet valve profiles are exactly the same. So obviously we can't put the engine back together as it is, knowing what we know. So we've had to get the engine, take the engine up to Auger Engines at Bayswater, and we got them to machine out the reliefs and give us a bit more depth, so give us a bit more clearance with the valves. What we did was give them a sample piston of the 4E FE, and they basically machined that up as a practice to make sure that they knew how much they had to machine out to give us the relief that we needed, and we ended up increasing the diameter of the reliefs by the radius of the reliefs by 2mm, which means the diameter is 4mm. So they actually removed quite a bit of material off the piston. So hopefully that'll solve our problem. So we are revving the engine to 9,000 RPM, and Auger Engine's opinion is that the higher RPM we are experiencing a little bit of valve float, even though we are running 11,000 RPM valve springs. He said, look, even though you've got 11,000 RPM springs, you will still experience a little bit of float. That's very high RPM, and we do run very high duration cams as well. So we've got full race cams in there, and but the good thing is the valves weren't bent. So we measured the valves. There's none of the valves are bent. The inlet port's completely sealed. There's no witness marks on the valves. It's seriously remarkable. I can't believe we haven't damaged the head. So it's quite a amazing story. Even the engine builder, Auger guys, they can't believe I didn't bend the valve either. So it looks like the actual impact on the piston is more of a propagation, so thermal expansion and stretch, and it slowly has propagated into the piston. It's not a bang into the piston. So if it was a bang into the piston, we'd have damage. So it's just remarkable that the engine survived. But hey man, it's Toyota. The reliability of Toyota is phenomenal. So yeah, interesting picks. Alright, so now we've got the engine back together, the engine's in the car, like I said, we've got the exhaust to fit, fluids in, started up, get a dyno, and here comes Winton.